Welcome everyone. Thanks everyone for participating on this kickoff call for the SummerHackfest. We have been planning this hackathon for a long time, a couple of months already. Also wanted to thank all our sponsors, Calp Studios, Ginseng Swap, Shui, DForce, and Meson for supporting us during this hackathon. The main objective for this call is to get everyone to know all the resources and the main guidelines and information you all need to know for the coming weeks. Let's start with, for those who don't know, Conflux Network is a blockchain. Its main innovation is around the tree graph, which provides a high throughput and fast finality. It has a hybrid consensus mechanism with both proof of work and proof of stake. And there is two spaces, core space and ESpace, being ESpace fully EVM compatible. So if you know Ethereum, if you are an Ethereum developer, it will be really easy for you to start building on Conflux ESpace. As a summary for the program, there is no tracks for this hackathon. It's totally open for innovation. You can build anything you want. I have this question from a couple of you guys that asked me the same. There is no tracks. There is no specific guidelines or topics for the hackathon. The idea is to let you build whatever you want to build, and we will choose the top 5 projects and reward them with 2K each in CFX. So the total prize pool is of 10K. There is also another bounty that was provided by Ginseng Swap with 3 additional prizes which has specific guidelines for using Ginseng Swap in particular. But the main prize pool is 10K, and there is 5 prizes, as I mentioned. The main goal is for all of you to submit your projects by September the 15th. That's the deadline for submitting projects, and that's the main date you must keep in mind. After that, we will choose the top 10 finalists, and there will be a demo day on September the 22. After that demo day, we will choose up 5 of those 10 finalists, and the 5 winners will be announced on September the 29th. So those are the key dates that you must keep in mind. And here is some additional dates that are also important. Well, in this calendar, we missed the call that we're having on Saturday for Ginseng Swap, in which Tony will explain like how to interact with the Ginseng Swap smart contracts. So that's missing in this event's calendar. But in general, you must know that every Thursday we will have office hours. So I will be here, and we can have one-on-one calls and support you guys in whatever project you are building. And then there is 3 workshops planned so far. The first one is the next Tuesday, which is about an introduction to developing on Conflux ESpace. So to provide you with all the tools you must have. And then there will be another workshop, which is planned to happen on a metaverse, which is a busy workshop about how to fundraise project, which will be provided by Sam, who is here in the call as well. Then there is the third workshop, which is about AI-assisted development. So like to showcase all the latest news and tools that are available for you guys to build your project faster and better, basically. So these are the planned events. There might be some additional events planned. I don't know, Cami, if you want to add anything else.
Yes, I was just going to say to stay tuned to the calendar and Notion that we have for you guys because we'll be continuously adding more events. As some of our sponsors will also are also planning to host some workshops for you.
Awesome. Thanks, Cami. Yeah, we'll get to the Notion page in a couple of slides. So then if you're gonna get support, we'll have the office hours every Thursday at this time here on Discord or Telegram, wherever you prefer. You can just join the Telegram group or our Discord server where we are now. Just go to the SummerHackfest channel and drop your question there, or DM me for any questions or support you need. Some of the rules, the idea is to get projects built during this time window. We will not like a lot if you get a project that it has been built like a long time ago or that it has been already launched. So the idea is to get new projects built during this hackathon. And one of the requirements is that it must have a public GitHub repository. For submission, you need to create a PR and submit your code into the hackathon repository. I will show it to you in the next slides. But basically, the code must be public and open source, of course, and you must have a working demo, which must include also a video and a clear README or additional documentation as needed. Regarding AI assistants, they are completely allowed. The idea is actually to encourage you to use AI for building during this hackathon, because we believe that helps a lot on creating better and faster projects. So for the submission pass, as I mentioned, you need to submit your project under the projects folder in the GitHub repository. You must include a 3 to 5 minute demo video showcasing your project and explaining what your project is about. And there is also some documentation on the Notion and the GitHub repository with checklist and guidelines on how to submit it. Just make sure you submit it on time. We won't accept projects that are submitted after the deadline. So remember, that's the September 15th. And regarding the judging rubric, we basically have different points for different areas in which the project will be evaluated on. And the idea is to create a transparent way of judging the projects. I personally will also get assisted by AI to review all the projects. So all the code will be reviewed, and not only considering the technical point, but also the user experience and how innovative the project is and how good the presentation is, mostly focused on the demo video part. Then some guidelines on how to get started, like the key things you need to know, like to start building, is basically to get a wallet, which can be MetaMask, Fluent, Ravi. You must get some CFX from the testnet, from the faucet. I will show you all those resources soon. And just set up your developer environment, whatever you prefer, like Hardhat, Foundry. You can also use Threadweb, Cookbook. There is lots of tools you can use for building on Conflux eSpace. We encourage you guys to use eSpace for this hackathon. Particularly, you can deploy your contracts or your project both on testnet and mainnet. For that, just need to configure the network RPC using the information in the documentation. And then for exploring the network or verifying contracts, you can use Conflux Scan. And for building a frontend, you can use standard Ethereum tools like Ethers, Web3, WAGMI, or VM, for example. And in the bottom, you can see a link where you can get the full documentation, but I will show it to you. Then some additional learning resources and tools you might want to use during this hackathon that can help you get started like easily. Of course, the faucet is fundamental, like for testing and doing stuff on testnet, but then the documentation, and there is a lot of videos and tutorials for a lot of different topics and things that you can use also for learning about Conflux and how to build stuff. And finally, we have the dev kit, which was built by a community member, dev ambassador SP. And yeah, I will show it to you as well after the slides. But yeah, it has a lot of different tools and resources you can use to get started. Then there is the two key hackathon resources, let's say. There is the Notion page and the GitHub repository, which is SummerHackfest 2025. And there you can find like all the documentation and information and guidelines you need to get started with the hackathon. This is the last slide, the call to action. Of course, you have joined Discord if you're in this call, but if not, join Discord, join the Telegram group, and you should already have an idea or pick an idea like today and try to start building something in the coming week. You can ask me questions or ask questions during the office hours. And yeah, that's basically what I had for the slides. Let me quickly show you all the resources we have available, starting with the Notion page. Here you have a quick overview about the hackathon. There is overviews, rules, the judging criteria, more resources, a checklist for submission, submission guide. Here is the calendar that Cami mentioned earlier, and the terms and conditions for the hackathon. So I encourage you to get started by reading all of this. So this is the calendar so far. And then there is the repository, which has all the information. Here in the README page, there is a quick overview about everything. But here in the documentation page, you can find like all the documentations that's also on the Notion page. And for submitting your projects, you just need to create a pull request and add your the project code under the project folder with your project name, like this. And that's basically all the fundamental stuff you need to know. But for some of the resources, there is the developer quick start. There is a quick guide on how to configure both testnet and mainnet, how to configure all your tooling, depending what tools do you prefer. And of course, there is a lot of different tutorials and guides, like for getting started with frontends, with Conflux scaffold or oracles, or anything you need to know. Then, of course, the Conflux Explorer, which has like 4 different versions, 2 for core and 2 for ESpace, both mainnet and testnet. And the faucet, where you can get some test CFX. And of course, all the videos on the YouTube channel. There is different contents. I'm sure you can find most of the answers you need on all these videos. And finally, we have the dev kit, which recently had an update with the Conflux Phaser, which allows you to create phaser games using Conflux. And there is a lot of different like boilerplates and templates you can use, like for getting started with private, for account abstraction with Conflux, or for using Hardhat on both ESpace or Core, and a lot of different tools that can get started very easily and fast. So this is great for a hackathon like this one. And yeah, I think that's all what I had for today to show you. I don't know if there is any questions, anything else we should cover.
I think you've covered everything really, really well.
Yeah.
Sam, did you want to add anything about your
Yeah, sure. So I'll be hosting a workshop with all the specifics on how to properly fundraise and what VCs look for and how you should prepare accordingly, setting up your data room, key metrics that are really important, and kind of just like an overall go-to-market strategy for raising and then launching.
Awesome. I'm excited about that one because I think a lot of projects would really benefit from that.
Yeah, I think it's super important how you story tell and the narrative, and to understand what VCs are looking for. And things have changed over the years. Back in the day, VCs were constantly just aping different projects, but now with so many more projects in the space, they really look for hard numbers and metrics. So we'll be going over all of that stuff and kind of telling founders how to build their deck to capture VC attention from like first glance, because they get bogged down with so many decks, and it's important to get their attention quickly.
That's awesome. That's great, Sam. And so we'll keep you all posted on when that's happening. And it'll be, I believe we already have it in the calendar.
Yes, September 2nd is the date, and we're trying our best to host that in our Hive 3 virtual space. We'll be sharing some of the photos of the Hive 3 Conflux virtual space later. It's looking really great, and I'll drop them in Discord and Telegram chat so you guys can see how beautiful it looks. And then we'll have a community onboarding phase once they get the audio ready in there, which they're saying should be pretty soon. So I'm hopeful that we'll be hosting that in Hive 3.
Awesome. Great. Thanks, Sam. Nico, I don't have anything else to add if you don't.
Yeah, nothing else to add from my end. I'm expecting the Hive 3 experience. Yeah, it sounds
Yeah,
great.
it's very cool. Yeah, it's very cool. We saw it the other day. We're doing actually a walkthrough today of it, and we're doing and then we'll onboard you, Nico, as well once it's ready. Sam and I want to get used to using it first before we introduce it to everybody.
It sounds awesome.
Actually, maybe I can just share a photo in the chat here too. If you guys just give me a minute, I'll download some of these pics and just give you guys the first alpha. All right, here's one photo. Let me get some more. Are you guys seeing these in the chat?
Yeah, I can see them. Yeah, so the space looks really real, and the attention to detail is pretty amazing that they did.
Yeah, they've got shadows and all sorts of like nice aesthetics, and it's built on Unity. So The pictures don't quite do it justice, but when you're in world, you'll see it's really nice. And it's like,
Awesome.
I feel like it's like 4 stories. Really cool places to explore.
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah, they had quite a few floors.
Looks amazing.
Right. Awesome.
Very realistic.
Yeah, it's very cool, Nico.
So that will be happening in 2 weeks, isn't it? That's the September the 2nd.
Yes, not this coming Tuesday, but the following Tuesday.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah, so everyone just pay attention to the calendar, and we'll be posting, updating in the Telegram and the Discord channels for the hackathon when all this will happen.
Awesome. And well, the next event will be also in the Discord stage now where we are, which will be for Ginseng Swap. About the bounty will explain like the criteria and what it's about, but that's like an additional price you can also get by building using Ginseng Swap. So stay tuned for Saturday for that event. And yeah, I will stay here around in the Discord. If you guys need help or if you want to discuss any project idea, you can just reach out to me over DM or ask your questions on the Discord channel.
Awesome. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you for joining, and we'll update you on the next event.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Happy building.
Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.